Okay, close your eyes. Are you there, Rion? High integrity, high energy, just pure energy. Highest and best for me, for Linda, and all that applies to. What would you like Linda to know today?
Be more specific.
Is there a veil over Ireland that's different than any other location? Or a veil lifted? It's my understanding that there's not as much of a veil between the human and spirit world in Ireland. Is that true?
No.
Why is Linda in Ireland?
Strategic placing.
Why?
It was her choice. It was part of her soul plan.
Has she fulfilled that contract?
The soul plan isn't a contract.
Right. So what's the difference between a soul plan and a soul contract?
We don't know of a soul contract. We only see a soul plan.
It was my understanding that in Old Earth we had a contract, but that we were allowed to get out of it. Have we just got out of it?
I see a twisting of the truth in the aim to control the belief.
Like that we were stuck in a contract?
Yes.
But it never existed? So we had a mission, but we had free will?
Yes, you made your mission. No one gave you a mission.
Do we only have
your mission.
Do we only have free will up to a certain level? Because I don't feel like that we as humans have free will just over everything.
Free will is not an action. It is the power within each individual to choose how they perceive, feel, respond to any circumstance.
So we have free will in how we respond and react, but not necessarily over everything in the realm that we dwell in.
Yes and no.
Like I can't just say, "Oh, I have free will," and just there's the house that I want to live in.
Not in the frequency that you dwell in now, no.
Me personally, or humans?
Generally, humans. But there is a dimension within your realm where that is a possibility.
I kind of likened it to game board or levels that we have free will and we can create and we can switch realities at Earth and we can do all that, but we can only do it to a certain level until the mass consciousness reaches the next level. Is there any truth to that?
Yes and no.
Please clarify.
Mass consciousness is misunderstood, misinterpreted, again purposely, to disempower your full potential as the creator
Who's
of
doing
your reality.
Who's doing that on purpose?
Please wait. You will experience in your reality everything within your spectrum of frequencies that you hold. And the idea that someone else can limit you, hold you back, or change your reality is simply not true. There has to be a core belief that it's possible for it to be true. But whilst that being said, there is a collective plan so that those with less awareness to almost no awareness can benefit from those with awareness. But those with awareness do not physically get impacted by those with less awareness. It is not possible on the frequency scale. Less can go up, but up doesn't go down.
Because once we level
so
up, we don't. Okay.
It is always the higher frequencies that will have the most impact on a collective experience, and being told that it is otherwise is simply not true.
So once we level up in frequency, we can't ever go back to lower frequencies.
Generally, that's a true statement, as I just stated. There are extreme circumstances where an accident or a disease can impact the level of awareness in the body, but never in the soul. So the body could look restricted and lower than, whilst the soul still maintains the frequency that is higher.
So when you said up can't go down, you were talking about frequency.
Yes.
Okay, when you're talking about the soul contract that doesn't exist, you said there was a misinterpretation. Who misinterpreted it?
There's been a general sorry, one moment. on the lack of knowing of the collective attracted and created a belief because it was interesting and it created a different pathway of learning and experience. There was created from the collective the idea that there were contracts that could not be changed or released from. The people themselves created this, and in the frequency band that these restrictive beliefs dwell or are created, there are a group of beings that flourish from the negativity to be like feeding from it, and they keep it in perpetual motion. As we explained yesterday, that if they do not keep recreating their negativity, they will indeed annihilate themselves.
So is it the reptilians?
They have a part in this, yes.
Who is it that's feeding off of us?
Other humans. Humans do this to humans.
Are we recycled? Like when we die, we just kind of keep coming back in the same realm? Or were we trapped here? Or, I mean, I don't know what I'm asking, I guess. But
there is a continuity of existence for the soul. And there is a death for the body. There are no traps. There are no loops. They are of the imagination because the free will
like
decides
it's a tunnel of light
that a human can believe anything and therefore experience that belief. That is free will.
Is a tunnel of light a belief?
Yes and no.
Please explain.
In the departure from one realm to another, it can feel like moving through a tunnel of light. Travel between realms that exist in different atmospheres, in different parts of all that is known as the universe, the universes. Light aids movement between realms, planets, space. And in some cases, the human so believes that they will travel through a tunnel of light on the death of their body, they will do so. If that is their strongly held belief. And there is no harm to this. But not everyone will do that because not everyone believes that.
It is said that if we connect with one entity, such as yourself, that we're connecting with all energies on the other side. Is that true?
The other side of what?
They say it's a veil, like the other side, meaning what I can't see, like wherever you dwell.
We would call them spectrums.
You dwell in a spectrum?
Yes.
Is that
Of a
like
frequency.
and a dimension and a frequency? Is it like a dimension too?
It's like a dimension. And it has different densities within that dimension. But it's more like a spectrum rather than a place that's either here or there, because it's in the same place as Earth is, but being on a different frequency, it's neither felt nor seen. Very, very difficult to describe. Hang on, I'm just gonna trying to draw a picture. Humans see between 1 and 100. Animals see more. You see up to 150.
Do kids see more?
There is infinite numbers on the spectrum. Do you understand?
But we're limited to 100?
Purposely, for a physical
Right.
reality. It's not a limit as such. It's a necessity. Though, within that realm of the spectrum, let's say up to 100, it is possible to still dwell within that 100 and see more. And that is what will come with reconnection through self-awareness. Self-awareness is never about the body being used. It is about how the body is used.
By who?
By the consciousness that has given that body life and energy to exist.
Is there an element of what you're describing about being used by other humans?
Only with belief. No one has power to use anyone else unless there is, so to speak, a leak in their energy field created by the belief that this is a possibility.
Well, what about the children?
What children?
The children, did they have a belief, or they come in with a belief where if they subject themselves to abuse or child rape, or where does that fit into what you just said?
That's their soul plan.
Why?
They are no different than their abuser.
To experience
in some soul plans, it is the soul, which may be thousands of years old, is the child. And the abuser may only be 10 years old as a soul. This is just a bad example. But so one is actually the adult and one is the child.
I get it.
And the agreement was made, and in most examples, it is the abused that has made that soul contract, not a contract.
Agreement
with that other soul.
Do we have to eliminate...
And for that soul
right.
to fulfill
right.
the perpetrator agreement, they have to be the strongest of souls, because it's one of the most difficult experiences to experience.
Do we have to eliminate child rape to level up to another frequency?
Yes.
And child rape is a lower frequency.
Yes.
Is there more reptilian aspect in that?
Yes. So as to feel that something else does have control of your body. To lack of awareness.
Go ahead.
We feel the pain the humans experience. This will never be cleared or solved by more punishment, by more meting out of the same low frequency.
So just moving on.
Unconditional love is the cure.
Do some people,
if there is a need to cure something.
do some people have more reptilian influence over them than others?
The less aware they are, the more influence they will have from the small percentage of reptilian in them.
Are there reptilians here that have like eyes that blink like reptiles?
Sometimes they're just visitors.
Right. From where?
From where they come from.
So they're not reptilians?
Not always, no.
So it's a mistaken belief to think because the eyes blink sideways or there's a bigger pupil that it's reptilian.
Yeah, that is a mistake. That is a common mistake.
Because the reptilian is the scale is that really a dark being.
Not always, no.
Are there reptilians out
in
there?
their own spectrum?
Right.
They are completely normal. There's no judgment. There's no bad, or there's no good, or there's.
Are there 100% reptilians?
Not on this planet.
But out there somewhere there are.
We cannot say.
So the reptilians are fine and they're fine amongst themselves, but when the humans witnessing them, then they seem cold and unconscionable and unfeeling.
From this spectrum.
So
this is the. We will call it a planet, and we will call it words that can be easily recognized and understood. So in this spectrum of reality, where some acts are deemed bad and some acts are deemed good, they would appear to be a callous race. But this is very hypocritical of the humans because it's very relative to what they will accept as normal.
Right.
They worship the soldier. They crush the murderer. One is the same
Right.
as the other.
So it would appear that humans are just as cruel as reptilians in nature. Can be.
Far more cruel because humans have emotions.
So they do it on purpose.
Yes, they do it for self-gratification. Reptilians do it as a living instinct.
Right, they don't know any better, but humans know. They know what they're doing is causing pain, and they do it.
They don't know any different.
Right.
But humans know better.
Right. Why are
So
you...
they are
Go ahead.
possibly, if we are going to use the scale of good and bad, they are possibly worse than those they deem worse than them. But we do not judge that. We do see always the bigger picture. But it has to be said that humans are very mixed and complex. They're very inauthentic. They are very susceptible, vulnerable, closed down. And this is all caused by lack of self-awareness.
Where do Linda and I fit in with all of that?
You're humans.
But I don't feel like we're those people you're talking about.
We will not go into detail of the continuity.
Right, we have been that, right.
Yes.
We're just not
And
that now.
growth is making different choices whilst being faced with similar circumstances. So we grow and we grow and we grow, which is expansion, which is the raising of the personal frequency.
But aren't you insinuating that growth is good then and non-growth is bad?
Depending what planet you live on.
Well, I live on Earth.
So I'm not insinuating. This is a non-judgmental conversation.
But the way you talked about growth, you made it sound like it was a really good thing. A high frequency.